Man to Man Think Tank. Man to Man Think Tank. We got Brother Shelby here, Brother Mike Smitty, Brother Monte, who putting it all together, and of course myself, Reggie.
Thank you, Monte, for having us here.
Yeah. Let me read this right quick. Man to Man was created to educate, translate, articulate from a spiritual level of alertness. We're going to take that out of there. We strive to bring back by building up that which was lost, ultimately making man whole again. So this group was based on those ideas, creating feelings and spiritual upliftment and making man whole again. Notice it don't say nothing about no women, it don't say nothing about no children. The group is not founded on women and children. Again, because my studies have kind of taught me and shown me that the reason why they got the black man out and wanted to blow our nose off and cut our testicles off and have us not talking to one another in slavery, have us not building and growing one another. All of those things right there, man, was did to, keep us apart from doing exactly what we're doing right now today. So with that being said, that is why Man to Man was created. So we can come together, share our experiences, talk about the things that, financially, educationally, whatever level that, our teachers might be teaching on. I'm not a teacher from that perspective, but I'm a teacher from the fact that, look, man, we need to do some things to change our ways and change our dynamics. So with that being said, let's start the conversation. Let's start the conversation we've been having. Let's continue the conversation. I, for one, again, like I just said, men and women is not in there. Women and children is not in there. And yet, now I'm trying to figure out the dynamics literally now because of the conversation we had outside. Who would want a woman over there? We was having a conversation that she was the natural and she used to be at one time in charge. Not over the man, but I guess we looked up to the woman on the list. I want to have that conversation because I feel like I don't even see how that could even be entertaining to have a woman over a man. How that could even work, especially in this society. Men have built everything. The cars, the roads, the houses, the shoes, the clothes that she wears, even Victoria's Secret, her underwear is made by a homosexual man from what Dick Gregory told me. So I'm saying, why do we put her in such a prestigious role when she's an emotional being that need direction, that need a man in her life, to make that thing even work, that works in the family, that holds the children together. How do we rationalize that to these young folks? Because they ain't buying it. Shelby, Mike, Monte, somebody.
I don't think you rationalize. I don't think the woman is fit for leadership nowhere. I'm not. Nowhere. But in my suggestion, it's a process. And so, yes, it would start with the man first. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to start with, that's the thing about it is that the man is the law, woman is the detail. So, even in that sense, we need we need that unity. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not going to sit here and say we would be whole men without women.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? But I do agree with you, as far as that goes, because in my experience, and like I said, I ain't gonna speak for nobody else, but my experience, no, it wouldn't be advantageous to have a woman, leading in a number of different arenas. But I don't want anybody, especially because this conversation is going to be shared. I don't want nobody thinking that we don't appreciate or understand a woman's role.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? So,
what is the woman's role?
Like I said, detail.
Detail of what?
Detail.
I'm saying, but that's an ambiguous statement.
Well, it is because it's ambiguous on what you're pursuing. That's why it's ambiguous, because she's going to handle the details on what her man is pursuing. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Whatever Rick is pursuing, Sharonda's going to handle the details. You know what I mean? She's and not to say she's even going to handle the details, but she's going to make him aware of the details. You know what I mean? Because as men, we charge forward. If you a man, you're going to charge forward. Like I always use the mantra that, you know, runners don't look at and you used to run, so you know, runners don't look at the hurdles. You know when to jump. You know what I mean? They ain't looking at, if you look at the hurdle, what happens? You're going to fall over it, right?
Yeah.
But the woman is there to tell you, you know what I mean, every 6 steps is going to be a hurdle on her. Yeah. You know what I mean? And we gotta learn to appreciate that and, how should I say, celebrate, for lack of a better word, celebrate her for that. You know what I mean? So it's not about Xing her out or she not important. We're talking about the leadership role. Right. So I just think, I'm just trying to make that distinction for everybody who hears this conversation. All right.
Let me say, you got something, Mike?
No.
You sure?
No, I'm sure. I ain't ready right now.
Okay,
I'm just listening.
Let me say this right especially about men, right? We, like you said, we charge right into it.
Mm-hmm.
We make a mess of I mean, you know, that's, you know, Flintstone, Bam Bam. Yeah. You know, that's how it all was created. You know, we tearing up something. You know what I mean? When you tear up something, what you gotta do? You gotta put it back together.
Yeah. And hold on, look, not to interject.
Come on.
Not to interrupt, just to interject. First, you gotta be accountable and say, I did that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Then we're going to go into reconstruction.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. And that's what a lot about what this is about, too, is learning and sharing and holding each other accountable. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because, and like going back to what you said, a majority of our men these days were raised by a woman and they don't know about accountability.
No, not at all.
Because, you know, and it's a running joke on every social media platform you go to. Women ain't about to be accountable shit.
No.
They is not about to say, "Oh, you're right, I did that. That was my bad."
Right.
And to this day, I cuss my girl out a lot about it. So you just ain't gonna say that was you though. You just ain't gonna say it, huh? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Okay, that's fine. You know what I mean? You ain't got to. We know, but so that's number one is teaching each other. And I ain't gonna just leave it on the young men, but teaching each other as men that it only makes you better to be accountable. You know, I teach my sons all the time. Every choice you make makes it your fault. I had the same conversation with my girl the other day about her son. You got to teach him right now. That boy 12 years old. You got to teach him right now. Every decision he makes it his fault. That's it. Once you learn that, then you start developing ways in your own brains not to make them same mistakes. But if you ain't got no accountability, then you just gonna be bam every day.
Yeah. And that's, you know, that's kind of what I was going to say too. Like, when we tear it up, like you said, we got to put it back together.
Right.
And when we put it back together, then what they say? Ain't no experience like what? Self-experience.
Right. But you know, here's the thing though. I think we all miss collectively. Is that we're talking about what man do. And we escape what Black scholarship has said. When millennium, we erasing millenniums. Millenniums is plural, like this is a millennium, right? We in a millennium right now, an epoch of 6,000 years. That's the white man's world. And then the Aquarius is changing and, you know, the whole phenomenon. Okay, the knowledge that was missing is now being revealed. And it says that millenniums, so that means like in the last 6,000 years, we're in the white man's age, right? So that means that we can just take that phraseology because according to the mathematics, we writ history in advance. You see what I mean? We writ the history in advance. We didn't think past, present, or future. We thought now. And only now, from that now, in that existence, that established the whole planetary sphere we call Earth. There wasn't no other race. So when we talking about we destruct, no. White man has destructed. And each of us, unless we was born 6,000 years ago, came into this in an inadequate disposition. So none of us came into a situation that we experienced the benevolence of black antiquity, when the sayings that we get, it takes a village. Why? Because in antiquity, the village was such. Today, we say those things, but the village is based in concretization, because every method that the warring class has put down, we have been subjected to. We did not take the time to create an infrastructure that is more successful, even in captivity, than what our recent ancestors did with all the things. So that's why I like the idea of the doing aspect. But in just the doing aspect and negating that, if there's millenniums that darker people was on the planet, and the man and the woman was in solidarity, and it was the most successful. When we're talking from a concretization complex when we say we destroyed. We didn't destroy nothing. It was already destroyed when we got it.
I'm saying from a building standpoint, ain't no experience like self-experience.
No, I wasn't talking about the self-experience. I'm talking about the when we talk about the destruction. When we talk about
we
didn't destroy.
We went to we ain't on the same page. We went to a different page. That's all that is. And everything you said was accurate. We talking about self right now. We just talking about self, not society.
And see, let me tell you something.
I'm talking about within. I'm talking about even within self. Even within self. If we do not have a consensus knowledge.
But that's how we got to the table.
Yeah.
The consensus knowledge.
Right. Yeah,
that's why we here.
Yeah.
But what we're talking about while we're here is these women raising the children, which got these little boys like little girls. That's what we're talking about. Right. We're talking about the trouble that we're in and how can we get out of it. Not just for the day, but for tomorrow, for our longevity. So we don't teach these boys that these women have messed them up from a feminine standpoint.
Right. Well, we can't.
As men. Look, we need to recognize this as men first, because that's what's absent is the men. Right. If these men don't know how to be men, how is we gonna ever get out of?
So what I'm hearing is see, that's the point when I'm saying the consensus knowledge, because the man
these boys
has
don't even
accounted.
know the word.
No, but I'm saying
we built on that.
But listen to what I'm saying. The man has accounted. The woman ain't accounted.
She don't get accounted when she come in contact with this new and improved real man.
That's why I agree with
Dick Gregory said this, right? I don't must call a lot of Dick too. Me and my wife watch a lot of Dick. Dick said he don't even let his wife hang the drapes. He don't know what to do. She don't know what she like. That's the standpoint I'm looking at this from.
I told my woman.
So I'm looking at this from the standpoint is we need to figure out as men how to be a man. Stand on know what you're supposed to do. Know that she do what you tell her to do. Basically, you know what I mean. See the detail. You know what I mean. When I make the mess in the house, whether it just be dirty, she sweep it up, she mop it up. It's the detail. She keep it clean. When I come in dirty clothes, she wash the clothes. I go out and make some money, she go buy some more clothes. The detail. We ain't saying that she don't have no role and she don't have no. She just look when we got
out of her role right now.
Right.
That's what I get it.
Exactly.
I know. That's what I'm saying. She is out of her role right now.
And then that's what we go ahead, Mike.
I look at my woman as my shadow. You know what I'm saying? My shadow don't talk back to me. It don't do nothing but follow me, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And my shadow, I'm aware of my shadow. So I know when she put me up on game, not to make this move or make this move. You know what I'm saying? And as I've been with her for 17 years, being with her for 17 years, I went through a lot to get her to be my shadow. Mm-hmm. You know, but once she's your shadow, you know, you got someone, she just as powerful as you are.
Listen to this. My wife died And I had the baddest wife on the planet. And if my wife hadn't died, we wouldn't be having this conversation right here. We'd be having a conversation at a school building.
Right.
Okay? So, as I live in the memory of my wife, in her spirit, in that complex, when I'm saying woman, I'm speaking from my eye. Because that's when we was most successful. That's it. That's not a religion, that's a science. Because everything comes through the woman. It don't matter. Even us as men came through the woman. However, she's taken the Eve's way. You understand what I'm saying? And become politely evil in that the greatest portion of her mindset is still stuck.
Yeah.
It's still stuck in there. So that's why I agree. The man part of the aspect of it, because once she see it in us, she gonna have to come on in.
That's what we're trying to do here at Man to Man, is create a better man. Because we create a better man, then you're right, the women gonna follow. The children gonna get them somebody.
I actually think the woman, to be honest with you, I really, to be honest with you, and because in my experience right now, post my wife, I date multiple women, and all three of them know of each other, cordial to each other, you know what I mean? And the woman is going to take the leadership of a man who's worthy. See, and that's why I like the idea of the man to man, because until we correct and instill, and that's the idea why I was thinking Black scholarship, because it puts the proper perspective, generally specific, where everybody's place is for us to be successful. You understand what I'm saying? This is the first time ever that the black man had to quest a feat to bring our people back together without the direct support of the woman yet. You understand what I mean? Because she's still, y'all remember.
But we still can't counter out though.
No, I know. But here's the thing.
We still can't counter out.
I know we're not counting her out. We're not counting her out. We're not counting her out. But this is not what we're not equating. That most of our women, a lot of them, and they starting to come out of it. They man is the white man. That's where when they say they independent, you can best believe the white man signed the check.
They got
you understand?
What they call it? Backer. This is saying they got a backer.
But at the same time,
somebody backing their moves.
Exactly. But at the same time,
backing their moves is the government.
But at the same time,
they got Section 8, or they get some food stamps. They get some.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. She has the buffer.
Right. But let me.
So she does have a man.
I want to expand on this because and get to the meat, if we will, right? Mm-hmm. So I had a young cat tell me the other day, man, I don't like nobody telling me about myself. I said, well, somebody got to tell you about it, because obviously you don't know. So somebody got to tell you. So stop taking offense to somebody telling you about yourself. I wish I'd been standing there. I'd have said, it sounds like your mama, but go ahead.
But that's the whole thing.
Somebody got to tell you about it. So that brings me to my question is like, okay, so what is, I ain't going to say the best, because there is no best, but I think we need to discuss some methods of making these young men aware of how emotionally damaged they are. Okay? Yeah. I had another brother at the same time. They was actually sitting next to each other. And this was the second time the young brother brought up the fact that his dad was missing in his childhood. Mm-hmm. And I told him, I really respect you opening up like that, because, a lot of motherfuckers ain't even a lot of people ain't even going to admit that. A lot of young men ain't even going to admit that they missed their daddy in their childhood.
And that it was a problem.
And that it was a problem. Mm-hmm. And that at 23, you see it's a problem right now. Mm-hmm. So I had to commend you. I commend you for recognizing that. He ain't here today. I told him, y'all come kick it with him. You know what I mean? Come kick it with him.
Let me see the video. He'll be here next time.
So we can, so we can alleviate some of them. Because listen, ain't nothing we going to do right now to make your daddy had been there 20 years ago.
Nope.
Right? But it's something we can talk about and do right now to make sure your offsprings don't have that same problem. How about that?
Right.
It's another young cat that in the same group as us, and he talks about how, he lost his father at a young age, but his granddad pretty much stepped in and took that role or whatever, you know what I mean? And how that helped him out, you know what I mean? So I was trying to develop some methods on maybe even like you were saying, right? Being cohesive and basically on the same page. What methods are we using to convey that message to young men without being offensive or scaring them off because of their emotion? Because we know their emotion.
Yeah.
So if I say to a young man, you're a little too emotional and that's why you get mad so much, he gonna get mad.
No, see, in order for him to get it out, he got to get mad. You gotta make him mad. You gotta make him rejudge it. You gotta make him throw it. You gotta let them know that it's present. Mm-hmm. If you don't tell them that, I gotta watch the camera. See?
No, I'm gonna tell you.
Look. If you don't let them know they got girl in them, if they going around thinking this is normal and natural, if you don't tell them that's girl stuff that you're doing, how do y'all gonna know?
All right, but listen to this. I got one for you. There was a young man. Matter of fact, I do believe we was in this building. Mm-hmm. We was in this building years ago. My cousin's boyfriend had this joint right here, and I came in here. He was asking me questions, and there was this guy. He called himself. His name was Mees, about 6'4", 6'6". So he was tall, big dude. And so I'm talking to my man, and he kept interrupting. So I told him, if you would let me finish, I probably would answer your question. Mm-hmm. Kept interrupting me. I said, bro, what you doing is some girl shit right now.
He stopped doing it.
No.
He kept going.
He rose up and got mad.
Yeah.
But he rose up on me, and he swung on me. And before anything happened, he was on his back. I'm talking about diaphragm hit first. Mm-hmm. Like, and my cousin, I told him, look, man, I don't want to hurt you. I don't want you to hurt me. But so I get the anger about it. So I'm not about to fight all these children. And so I've come up with different ways, but one of the things for sure that I do know that has been my most successful thing is once you just sit and listen to them. Because a lot of them, we're not dealing with children who on an even ground about men. Because remember when we was coming up, no matter how bad man was, grandmama didn't talk about man. She let the children let it for themselves. Where today, women talk about the man. And so the image of the man inside, and then you gotta add in the social media, is already damaged.
I did wash my face this morning.
So my whole thing, when I'm in the same vibration that we call our children kids, animals, goats, we can call them kings or queens. And so the whole psychological trauma and what I'm dealing with in Black scholarship is the correct vibration of the mindset. There's no way that our women can expect a respect from us, or can we respect from any thinking persons while we calling our children kids. And then they acting like animals.
You're not dealing with thinking people though.
Yeah, I know.
That's the whole point. That's the whole point. You got to remember that.
Right. Yeah. You know what? You're right. So we got to be the ones thinking.
That's another great topic too, because like I was telling you, teaching the young man last night how to play chess. He know how to move the pieces. He already knew how to move the pieces. I was surprised. I thought I had to teach him which piece is which and how to move each piece. He already knew the pieces. Mm-hmm. You know how every piece moves. Mm-hmm. You know what the problem is?
He didn't know the order.
He don't know how to think.
Yeah. Right.
He don't know how to think.
Okay.
Now, I'm just deciphering this. I heard a comedian the other day on the internet somewhere. He was talking about how back in the 80s, bro, we had to be aware. He said it's a new thing nowadays called mindfulness. He said, I never even knew this stuff existed back when I was a kid. Mindfulness?
Yeah.
Bro, you had to be mindful all day long.
Yeah, mindful, yes.
Like he said, the way he said it was, we didn't have cable TV in our pocket.
No.
You know what I'm saying? We didn't have cable TV in our pocket. So we had to be mindful all day. So it's a whole different thing. So, like, and I say all that to say this, right? Number one, when I got taught how to play chess in the 3rd or 4th grade, my counselor used to take me through old chess matches, right? World-class chess matches. He'd always let me be the winner. So we just walked down to these old games, right? So by the time I actually played my own game, I knew how to think about the game, right? And so you can still even equate that to this life, right? These boys know how to walk up and down the street safely, right? Some of them, not all of them, know how to write their name. You know what I'm saying? Read an application. But these are all individual moves that the brothers ain't able to put together these days. They don't know how to go from having a job to having an investment account to going to retirement. Nobody even ever taught me that. I had to learn it through the years. Like, okay, well, you know, save. Don't just save something, invest something. Yeah. You know what I mean? You got to learn them things. So that's what I'm saying. Is like, you know, a lot of these cats out here, they know how the pieces move, but they're not. They don't know how to think. And I mean that in the broadest aspect, bro. I really do mean that in the broadest aspect, bro. They don't know how to think and put those moves together.
Well, we don't know the process either.
Hold on, man. Listen.
That's why I like the idea of chess. Go ahead, brother.
Listen, man. We talking about some children, man, whose parents probably didn't graduate. Probably doing everything you can think of. They don't know nothing. Most of them ain't been taught nothing. Even if they got parents that go to work for 8-10 hours a day, they ain't got no time and no patience to come home and try to teach no child simple things, man, like, you know, controlling your emotions. They don't have
The simplest.
You know, see, again, man, you know, we want to put something on them that's really unattainable. You know, I understand about calling them kings and queens, but in my studies, everybody ain't gonna be no king. Every woman ain't no queen. We got a lot of hoes around right now. That's just what it is. We got a lot of self-sufficient, government-backed whores right around our society. Even in my black studies, and I do, you know, still listen to, you know, king and queen. Where do it come from anyway? You know, in my studies again, I found out the word queen derives from that of me and my wife, thrown it together, derives from the word bitch. When you keep breaking it down and keep digging it, it comes to the word bitch. Just like calling a child a kid, we know that's a billy goat. Now, if we start having these conversations, then we'll be stuck there and arguing with one another about what this means and what that means, and this language it means this and that language it means that. I don't want to be on that. How do we fix our problem?
But that's what I'm saying. That's an aspect of fixing the problem.
Yeah.
Is in the language, in our oratorio when we're delivering. Because the word king and queen for a child who is psychologically damaged, and then you're backing it by information, and it goes along and it coincides with the information that we give them. You understand what I'm saying? So
can we just let it be a child?
No. Listen to what I'm saying. No. We know we can't. No, we can't let them be. No, we can't. You know why we can't let them be raised for a child's perspective? That's the trick. That's the trick right there. Because I'm not coming from a prison. I didn't sit 20 years.
Can I say this again?
Hold on, listen. Let me say this. Can I say this? Let me make this point. Okay. So listen, not all women are whores. Not all. No. Hold on. Listen. Not all women are whores. Not all women who are in the position that they're in. It's not their fault. They are equally been the same oppressor. Is the same machine. So they didn't, even though they didn't have the right tools, just as we never had the right tools, you know what I'm saying, but what we do got is the wherewithal to say as men, because as again, the man has accounting where the woman hasn't accounted. So when we're dealing with the psyche of these young boys, we have to give them something different than what they're getting.
They ain't getting nothing right now other than foolishness. That's what I'm
saying. We got to give them something different than what they get.
Exactly, and that's why I'm trying to. That's the whole intent of man to man.
Right. So when I say king and queen and back it with the story, then it's a quickening.
They get that from the church. They get that from the mosque. They get that from any and everybody that
What?
There ain't too many of us that read books. So they get that from a very few people, kings and queens.
For very few people.
They get it from very few people because very few people don't.
Right.
They don't even communicate like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not even something that we communicate like. You know what I mean? So introducing that to them, and from that perspective,
It's totally foreign.
it's
Totally foreign.
Not
But
only
that's
is
the
it
shot.
foreign,
But that's the shot.
not
That's the
only
shot.
is it foreign, right?
Yeah, that's the shot.
It's in 99% of the cases it's unattainable. It's not even attainable.
What's not saying?
Being a king or queen. It's not even attainable. Because there can't be one queen, really, and one king.
No,
That's not true. There's many.
I mean, I'm talking about...
There's many.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying you're not the king of your own castle,
Right.
your own life, and your...
Right.
But when we come into the circle, or to the government, there's only one president. You got one general that command the other general.
But the president ain't even making the decision. So when we say the one president, you know what I mean? So it's a pantheon.
See, I'm not talking in terms of... I'm talking in terms of military. That's what the president is nothing more than the commander-in-chief of the military.
Mm-hmm.
Then I said general. The general tell the other generals. And he said one general. I'm just saying that one general who's in head of all the generals
send down the order.
send down the order. That's all I'm saying.
More than likely from.
But how many generals is it? It's not very many generals. We talk. Man, I want to give you something you can attain. I don't want to be talking outside of your realm.
I don't think
Over your head.
But that's why I say I don't think it's unattainable. That's why I'm disagreeing because the whole thing is it's like to make it simple.
I understand the wrong choice of words.
What's not
right? Kingship. Because I did explain what kingship is.
Right.
And you can be the king of this, and this.
Yeah.
So
that's
the
what
word.
I think that's more
what I'm
important. But
That's
don't
what I'm
you think
about.
that's more important? Don't you? I mean, you're saying like, don't you think it's more important? Because that's where we at. Is talking about these young men, right? Hold on, let me just finish myself. That's what we're talking about is these young men, right? So I think it is important that we make them understand that you can be the king of your domain, but that's all you can be the king of.
hold on.
You got to understand
Well, let me say it
that
like
before
this.
you can be the king of anything, you got to be the king of your own domain.
Let me say it like
That's
this.
why I like the chest idea.
Let me say it like this. You are the king of your own domain. I don't care what your condition is. You still running it as a man.
No, you can't. No. If you say that, then listen.
Now you got hold on.
If
Now
you say
you
that,
need- now you
that's
need
not
to
fair.
read,
That's not a fair statement
now
because
you
that's
need
not.
to
That's
read-
the problem that we're in now. Is that the woman did give her. The woman
Look,
gave her.
even in his
biblical-
less state, or even in his drunken state, he's still the king. Even in his drunken state, it's only his reality. He's the king of it, like it or not.
Okay, right. But listen to this. Okay, listen to this. Okay,
Totally
right.
disagree.
I agree. Listen to this. I agree with what he's saying, but listen to this though. We've been bad kings because listen to this. I remember. Now this is on my
It's not,
experience.
if you can't control your own mind, what you
Okay, right. Exactly.
You can't control your
I got that part right.
You just the king.
Exactly.
You just the king that can't control your own mind.
Okay, so listen. Now
No.
listen. Okay, now listen.
It's still your world.
All right.
It's still your world. Your reality is your world.
Ain't though.
And you is the dominant person in that world. That makes you the king.
Right.
That's my whole point.
And you expect,
That's my whole point.
That's my point.
If
That's
you
the
can't
whole
even
point.
control your mind. How you the king? How you running your own self? If I'm standing out on this corner,
Yes.
hold on. If I'm standing out on this corner waiting and begging for somebody to do something for me, I ain't king of shit. I ain't even running my own brain. I'm sitting here waiting for whatever comes. I'm just sitting here waiting for whatever. That's not being in charge of nothing.
Right.
That ain't even being in charge of nothing.
No, now here, let me make this point though. Now listen, but here's the critical point though.
Go ahead,
Here
go
is
ahead.
the critical point. Here is the critical point. You can't have it both ways. You can't say king, okay, and then say no matter the condition that you in, you a king. So that means no matter the conditions these women in, they still queens.
Yeah.
Because most of the women are in the condition because the man that they entrusted to have a child with didn't keep his word or because I listened to the woman. They didn't just say, hey, I'm gonna find the dumbest nigga to have a baby by.
But they did.
They doing
But
that
hold
though.
on,
They
hold
doing
on.
that right now.
Okay, hold on, wait.
But they did though.
But wait.
See, hold on.
Can we
hold
go
on.
back?
See,
Wait,
that's
y'all
why
not.
we get stuck on
No,
this.
let me finish my point.
See, we
though.
just stuck
No,
on
let
this.
me finish my point. Let me finish my point.
I'm listening.
So if a man didn't come to a woman and say like this. This how the man didn't come to a woman like this. Baby, listen, I ain't shit. Give me this pussy. You know what they said? And showed. Since we know the woman, we do and get the woman's trust because we romance her through Romanism. Get the pussy. And since we don't know how to lead and guide, we create false promises
Man,
to
you got
a
my wife
woman.
over here breathing hard.
We create false promises to this woman, and then she engages us, and then we the ones. Now, I don't get me wrong. There's a lot of women that blah 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 blah. But I'm talking about the majority and the fair share of women not engaging with men from the aspect of stupidity. A lot of these women be in college, be working, be whatever have you, whatever circumstances, and then the man. Now, because I say that because there's a lot of toxic women and the man not around. But for far and most part, when a man has a child, he tends to stay with his child. These new women now, way different. Way different.
Man, hold on.
Way
Let me ask this question.
Way
Let me address this.
So unless you're gonna account that
I
these
just wanna say- I just
these
wanna
women
say-
are not
I just
old
want to
women.
say, I'm gonna say
that
this. I'm gonna say this,
Yeah.
and a lot of this is for effect. You've been listening to the damn women a little too
No, I have
Yeah,
not been.
yeah,
I have not.
That's all
I've
best I
watched-
can
listen,
tell you.
Yeah, yeah.
no, hold on.
Yeah,
Y'all
yeah.
not about to discredit me. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
learn
yeah.
about what y'all saying. Y'all not. I know y'all not.
We
Y'all
ain't
not.
discrediting
I know
you.
y'all not. I know y'all. I've been in the listen. I've been in the classrooms. I've been in classrooms.
You might have been in too many classrooms.
No. Listen.
We've been listening. I'm
I know. I'm
trying to
saying.
get a chance.
I don't
I'm
listen.
trying to get a
I don't
chance.
give a damn what y'all experience is.
But
When I'm
you
saying what my
can't.
experience is,
Now you don't give a damn what the
no,
experience
because y'all not giving a damn
Hold
what
on,
mine
hold
is. Y'all not giving a damn what mine is. Every time I say an interjection about a woman, it's always received with if I no hold on, wait, listen. Every time I say an aspect about a woman, because we gotta know the need
Bro,
of the woman. No, listen. Because first of all, hold on. You're not gonna say the man can be a fucked up king and still be the king of the castle.
I didn't say that.
No,
Did I say that? Did I say that?
No, you didn't.
Okay.
No, you can't. But what I'm saying is, this is what I'm saying.
The king is
When we looking at the thing, you can't look at victims and make
just
one
like the
victim.
president.
You say what now?
The king, the president, all of them is the weakest.
The
They
what?
got to have people that's up under them, keep them in that position of being a king.
Damn right.
So
Of anything.
hold on.
Of your household, your kids, your
Now,
wife,
but going back to what brother said,
If you don't have that,
if you
you
can't,
ain't king,
no,
go
say,
for
so
it.
okay, so how many? So listen to this. How many? So listen to this thing. How many? Since we own it,
Mm-hmm.
all right. How many times have? Now I have to give this one up. This new woman, I think you mentioned the ages. Was you the one gave like an age, there's an age. There's an age where like nowadays a woman will keep the child and do those different things. They've always done it, but by none more times now, they really on that strong independent type deal where the latter woman, she will receive the help of a good father of a child. Where these women nowadays, they would rather depend on the good job.
Okay, my time is
You know
running
what
out, so I'm gonna get this in before
Go
I had to go.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna get this in before I had to go because there's no disrespect in what I'm telling you
Go ahead.
that I feel like, right? Because there ain't no facts and feelings, right?
Right.
I feel like you listen to the women a little too much.
Okay.
I'm not trying to be disrespectful in that statement.
Right.
Let me elaborate and explain
Go
what I
ahead.
mean.
Right.
Too many times in my experiences, same thing I was telling the young cat outside, right? I see the woman who got what she deems as a square nigga trying to holler at her, right? This guy who work at Myers or maybe the post office, you know what I mean? He ain't got no fancy stuff, but but he's steady and he's smart. He's doing it the right way. And the reason I say the right way, my uncle told me at a very young age, boy, if you go get a job at McDonald's 10, 15 years from now, you'll be way ahead than where you is selling these drugs, right? I wasn't trying to hear him because that's why. I'm kidding.
Made more money than him selling drugs.
And the women.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And the women.
Yeah.
Well, the money is, the money is given.
Yeah.
But the women.
Yeah.
These women choosing me, like the brother say.
The new clothes.
40% of men, 40%, you hear me? 40% of men, this ain't no black thing, white thing. 40% of men are responsible for 90% of the children that you see out here. Now, how the fuck is that? You want to know why? Because my experiences, women see this little square nigga got the job. She ain't trying to fuck with him. Excuse me. She ain't trying to date him. She trying to date the drug dealer. Right? Now let's just be totally honest.
That's your experience. That's not the totality.
Man,
Listen,
hold on. First off, ain't nothing total. Ain't nothing.
That's your experience.
Ain't nothing total.
That's your
it ain't just my experience. It's the experience of. Hold on. Number one.
That's not my
experience. Hold on. Number one. Hold on.
That's not my experience.
Exactly. That's just what I was about to say, Mike. That's not my experience. 40% of men is not my experience. 40% of men are responsible. Hold on, listen. 40% of men. You can Google it or go to your favorite search. 40% of men in this world are responsible for 90% of the children. That's not my experience, nigga. Them is the numbers. Them is the numbers. Now the way my experiences. Now the way my. Hold on. The way my. No, I already explained all that. You can go back to the recording to get that part. Let me finish. Now, the way my experience coincides with those numbers is what I'm explaining to you. This is not my experience. I'm showing you how the numbers coincide with my experience. I'm not saying I'm totally right, and I ain't saying nothing is a totality out here. I can't say 100% of these motherfuckers is ignorant. I'm not going to say that. What I'm telling you is my experiences line with the numbers. Now, you was the first one when I walked up outside that said, we do what? As the creators of this society, we do what? We believe in numbers. We work with numbers. We watch the numbers. I'm giving you the numbers, and I'm showing you how these numbers coincide with my experience. Not to say that you're wrong. I'm just saying these are the reasons I feel like you've been listening to the women too much.
Hold on. He said he feel like I've been listening to women too much. And I ain't
this is what I'm saying.
women. I'm observing.
See, we are different in our teachings. We are different in our understanding. I do not want all that religious stuff. See, this is a religious conversation now, basically. It's deriving from the religious aspect of the church and the mosque and all that garbage. That is the reason why I said that in the beginning, that this is not a religious group. I'm talking to the camera right now.
That's why I'm telling you flat out. You ain't talking to the camera. The conversation.
Yeah. Right. But, I'm just saying, man. This, I don't want to get off into all that. We in waters now that's dangerous. Because you see your voice is raising.
My voice has to get raised.
I know it's gonna raise up. I know you. I don't mind. But Monte voice raising, he wanna get these around some uneducated people. Now see, guns will be pulled out at this point. You know what I mean? We be ready, we be getting held apart. See, these are the conversations I don't want at man to man. They are unproductive. Right. They don't produce nothing but arguments. And all this other kind of stuff, because see, me and my wife, we sit at home and we watch all kind of brothers and sisters that's talking on YouTube. I'm talking about they reality, they conversation. And will you tell me what the women are saying about themselves? How many bodies they catching by the age of 25? I ain't got nothing to do with no man, but how many bodies? Hold on.
It's ridiculous, and I feel guilty.
And that's an experience, like it or not. That's an experience that most of our women is running around here sleeping with multiple guys.
And I have women to talk to me too about their households as well.
Sleeping with multiple guys. So much so that when they get pregnant, they don't even know who the daddy is. Because they're sleeping with so many. And I'm talking about, I just seen a guy on YouTube almost jump on his mama because he didn't even know who his daddy was. And then he found out that the man that was raising him and his daddy wasn't his daddy. So he really want to know why did mama lie to him all those years, and because this man was doing more for him. Man, look, man, those are the things that I don't want to get involved in. I want to get involved in and talk about how we're going to fix ourselves. I don't care nothing about what's going on out there. Because if we don't get ourselves together, whatever going on out there going to overtake us one at a time anyway, unless we got ourselves together. So all that philosophy stuff about, man, it ain't got nothing to do with nothing. It's wasted time. It's wasted time. We need to be talking about how we're going to safeguard ourselves. How we're going to put some money in our pockets. How we're going to stop these kids from killing one another. And how we do that is example. They don't have no examples. Like you just said just a minute ago, they don't have their uncles. Their uncle tried to talk to them, they were doing the same thing that the kids was trying to do. So we got to be better. We can't smoke weed in front of them and talking to them about not smoking weed or doing any kind of drug, because it's all a drug. Even if you got a cigarette in your mouth. You can't tell them not to do drugs, smoke a blunt, and you smoking a cigarette. It's just common sense. For me anyway, I know common sense ain't that common.
Hey, let me add this. I'm going to show y'all something.
No, I don't need you to show me nothing. I didn't come here for nobody to show me nothing. I came here to change conversations to some kind of influence, how we can make some money, how we can better ourselves again. I don't need no philosophy on how to do better.
Right. Now listen.
I didn't come here for that.
Go back on the film. I want you to go back on the film. When I said king versus kids, okay, listen, I didn't sell no dope. I ain't been in no prison. I've been a teacher. I've been a Hall of Fame athlete. I've been doing good since I've been out here with the same, with the same up and downs that we go through. So I didn't get my information from a penitentiary or none of those things. I've been spoiled all my life. My life was laid out before me, except for my own foolishness and impediments and not having a father around and being influenced by so I get all those different things. But at the same time, when I say something, when I say kids when I say king and queen versus kids, I don't care if you say kids. That's your business. You say all that all the time. But I don't give a darn if who and what you said about that, blah, blah. I don't care. I'm going to call these people kings and queens, period. I don't care that I don't need to know that whatever. So what? Keep it moving. Go back and look on the film that every time I said something, because I didn't sell no dope or none of I didn't grow up like that. So when I'm saying something, I've had the time to sit in luxury with no impediment of my mama fucking up over here or not raising or this and that. I went to camps. So I was born in privilege in this dumbass town. Okay? I felt the sting of a toxic mama whose drug was Christianity, who got a doctorate degree and dumb as a box of rocks. Okay? I got all that. But I love my mom the same. Don't get me wrong. She is a queen and I treat her as such. But this is why I say the man has a counter. But what I'm not going to do, when I say something that has been successful, when I call these young ladies queen, I ain't no queen, why you call me that? Sister, listen, this book right here, and I show them the book. So there's things that I've done over 20 years that actually about 40 now. You understand what I'm saying? That have been successful. And so I'm going to say that. And so I don't need no rebuttal. I don't need no, you know what I'm saying? I don't need to know. I don't need to know that about 40, 60, when I hear the conversations, when I'm looking at, when you're a teacher, and you see the struggles of homeboys that you went to school with that ain't taking care of their responsibility. And over a period of time, you see that the man ain't even paying for the child. None of that. Ain't even fighting to keep the child. None of those type things. So my experience is sometimes when we talk about the man, we talking in some misogynistic caveman white boy grab the woman by the hair sound like. Which I know this man right here is a king. And he treats his woman as such and produces as such. Otherwise, his woman wouldn't pick up after him after he done, because it's the reciprocity. And but the repair didn't come when you was 20 years ago. You wouldn't have been the man that would have been able to suit her. You would have been the fucked up king.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
I've always been this man.
You already been the man?
I always been.
Okay, so but you understand the point of what I'm saying.
This man that you're seeing today have only gotten better.
Okay.
Because of that experience.
No, yeah, right.
But I was always raised to respect the woman.
Oh, okay.
I was always raised to respect my mama.
Okay, got that. Okay.
And more importantly, elders.
Okay, right. My bad. My bad. That's in the learning curve of knowing each other.
Yeah.
But so what I'm saying, so what I'm saying is, a man at 20 who done wrecked homes. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Then in the accountability, we got to edge up. We only got to edge up because it was the information that we got that quickened us up a little bit.
I think
you know what I'm saying?
I'm with my wife now. Married 14 years now because of what I experienced at home.
Mm-hmm.
Look, this is before I went to the penitentiary.
Right.
There was no dad in the house. There was no power
right. Exactly.
in the house.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think one of the reasons why we still together because her daddy was in her life. He was in the house.
That's the first thing I tell my children. Do not date unless they have a healthy relationship.
I done.
Right.
That was what he done.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And he did it from a perspective that I don't really agree with. But look at the fruit.
That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
No. I'm saying that to say, bro, we as young men, we have to really cut loose of most of everything we've been taught. Because a lot of this stuff we've been taught, it ain't gonna help us. It just ain't gonna help us.
It ain't work. I get it.
I mean,
I get it.
It ain't financially based unless you're trying to take advantage of somebody.
I get it.
And that's what the preachers, the politicians, and everybody is doing, taking advantage.
Right.
So that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to set up an atmosphere to where we take advantage of one another.
Right.
You know what I mean? We is about helping.
Right.
I mean, when I went to prison, again, it's because of, I'm doing this, what I'm doing now is because of what I didn't have in prison. I didn't have nobody to call and, hey, I need this, I need that. Or, if it was people I met while I was in prison most times. I'd trick somebody at the gambling table or some sort, or, they owe me some money for, I'd loan them some food or something, they supposed to pay me 3 for $5 back. I was able to, get what I needed from the streets like that. And so what we doing here is, when it happens now, then I got somebody I can lean on. I can, that's going, like Shelby said, gonna come to my rescue when I need them. You know what I mean? That's what this whole thing is about. It's not about me putting you in your place. It's about me helping you when you fall short. So all this information about what somebody did back in the day, I don't really care what they did. Yeah, I read and I study history because I don't want to repeat, the traumatic experience that they had, but it has no bearing on me today. What they experienced because what they was going through have no bearing on me today. I know for a fact in this country, right here, for the last 200 years, we as black people are living the best lives that we have ever had. Mm-hmm. And yet, we find a way to be non-productive and talking about what happened yesterday opposed to what we can be tomorrow.
Farrakhan said, right now, you are the ancestors' dream.
Exactly.
This is what they dreamed of. This is what they dreamed of. Everything, all the things that we have, even though we feel like we're not the freest or the richest or whatever it is, we feel it. We are our ancestors' dreams. They hoped we would be here.
Yeah, we're in the best time of our
life.
Now
we got to take a picture of what we want our
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. We got superfluity. Because I tell you what, we got superfluities. Because the ancestors cannot be proud of us right now. And we only successful in individual freedoms of doing what the hell we want to do. We have not spent our infrastructure. You don't tell me a story. You don't tell me a story. I'm not telling a story that I've been saving my money so black scholarship can be. We done had thousands of people graduating from black scholarship. We done saved thousands of lives at black people's hospital. We done shopped at thousands of black people's grocery stores and different stuff like that. No, I'm not taking it personal. No, I'm not taking it personal. When we speaking, no. When I'm speaking in the things that we be talking about, we don't got an infrastructure that we can call our own. Our ancestors had an infrastructure that they call their own. So we ain't done nothing, but took what these white people done gave us and just been happy with that. We got billions of dollars that don't mean nothing. Brother, tell you right now, chattel money don't mean nothing. Chattel money don't mean nothing.
You never been in prison, but you always been in prison. Yes, you have.
Brother, if I had listen, I understand. Brother, I understand. Listen, brother, I understand.
He don't understand that. But see, he don't understand that because he ain't been to the little one.
You haven't been to the
little one, so he understand that's the big one.
You was born in a box.
I get that. Bro, I get the metaphysics of all that, brother. I get all that, brother. Brother, I get all that, brother. I get all that.
Prisons.
Brother, I get all that, bro. Brother, I get all that. Brother, what I'm saying is, when we talking about what we had more than y'all erasing the whole thing of antiquity. Y'all listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying.
Right now, according to you, right now, what you just said, it's 3-1. All of us are against you.
It don't matter that that's what you said. No, I wasn't saying. I don't think y'all against me. I don't even think y'all against me. What I'm saying, what I'm saying
that your thinking is different from all.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's different. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't see no success. I don't see I understand we got free reign of our behavior. I get that part about it. I do, bro.
I'm just trying to figure
out
why would you say that? Because the whole thing that I quoted Farrakhan on was that
Farrakhan. Okay, that's fine. You quoted Farrakhan, but what I'm saying is I get that. I heard what you said. I heard what you said. I heard what you said the first time.
No, but that wasn't what I was saying this time.
Okay, go ahead.
It's a whole difference.
Go ahead.
The whole thing I'm saying is, though, I'm trying to get to the point where, and believe me, I got a limited time. I got to get out of here. I'm going to a funeral in just over an hour. But the thing I'm trying to say is that how could you say you disagree with the Farrakhan statement when those people he's speaking of were in bondage, physical bondage? They dreamed that their children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren would not be in physical bondage. You are that dream. So no matter how you feel about life at this point, nigga, you are that dream.
Bro, listen, bro. The vast majority of black folks did not come. Bro, we didn't even come from Africa like that. So when we talk about
my question,
I know, but hold on.
That wasn't even my question.
Listen, because when we talk about the Jew, how do we know? Listen, what I'm saying. Listen. What I'm saying. When you read these books, that's the thing. I wish I could call Che DeMyers right here, right now.
For what?
Because he has an enlightened mind like me, where we have read.
Che got a like mind like me.
Right, but listen.
Okay,
so listen to what I'm saying.
I'm trying to, but you don't get to the point.
My point is this: we are not in no. We might be a dream that we free, but do you think the ancestors is happy that what we did with our freedom?
We ain't free.
Okay, then if the Farrakhan just said we the dream of whatever the ancestors is, do you think whatever dream, you think that the ancestors was dreaming that we would be at the condition now?
Okay, I see our disconnect.
That, you know what I'm saying?
I see our disconnect.
You know what I'm saying? That the family would be disarrayed. That's the dream of the ancestors.
Kind of.
That's the dream of the ancestors.
Listen. Let me elaborate on this because I see our disconnect. Okay, this is not their goal. This was not our ancestors' goal. This right here, what we're living through right now, this was not their goal.
Right.
That's, by saying we are their dream is not saying that we were their goal. This is not their goal. We are setting new goals for our people right now. But just as a man in prison wishes he was free, hopes his children never goes to prison, we are that dream, brother. Don't you understand that?
No, you know why I don't understand that?
Okay,
I'm gonna tell you why I don't understand that. I don't understand that. I don't understand that because at the turn when they let go of captivity, we had way more than we had way more coming out. Way more than what we got now.
I just said that.
Before you leave,
We had way
I
more.
just said that.
So then we went backwards.
Look, let me say this.
So we done went backwards. So how we gonna be happy going backwards? So I don't care if Farrakhan said it or not.
Wait a minute.
I don't care if Farrakhan or not said it. We don't went backwards. We can't go to a black hospital. We can go to a black hospital back then.
Can I say this?
So no, I don't.
Can I say this? Monte, you ain't getting a job.
What?
You ain't getting a job.
I just got fired from every job I done had, nigga. That's why I work for Paula, a black company.
You ain't getting a job. You don't fit the description.
That's why I got that truck. Thank God for Minister Rick who told me how to hustle. Shit, I'm a man to man. Shit, I'm a man to man. Damn it.
Hey, let me, hey, look.
The rules are bad people.
Hey, look.
That's why I'll be like, that's why I'm bad. I'm telling you.
Yeah, come on, man. Don't be disrespectful, man.
I gotta get out of here.
All right.
I gotta get out of here.
Love you too, bro.
All right, Mike, I gotta get out of here, man.
This stuff will mess you up. You hear me?
Hey,
When we start looking at this from a religious standpoint and all this other political stuff, we get nothing accomplished. We cover no ground. That is the reason why I do not like it. I don't talk about it, don't want to be involved in it, because it is simply it's simply somewhere there's no goals being made. It reminds me of a time when one of the Muslim brothers came into the group on Man to Man on Saturday. I'm not gonna call his name. We had a new brother there, and the brother was coming there because he had been fighting this girl that was dead of winter. He was sitting outside in the snow, needing somebody to talk to. I ran across him somewhere. He came to Man. That one time, that Muslim brother came in there like he was part of Man to Man, destroyed the brother's outlook on what we was talking about and trying to accomplish, and the brother never came back again. I don't want to have that. I'm not dealing in that with those kind of emotions. If it ain't about finances, it's not part of what Man to Man is trying to accomplish. If it's not about us loving and caring about one another, it's not something that we try to even talk about. And as the minister, as the man that's put this together, I got the final say. We ain't doing this. We talking about Brother Shelby's job, heating and cooling, and how we can get some young men or young females that want to learn heating and cooling. Again, all that other stuff, it's unacceptable. And I'm not having it, and I'm not happy at all. This is not the place. This is not the academy. We're not representing the academy. We're not representing the school. We're not representing any kind of political basis or religious standpoints or anything like that. We simply here to try to encourage one another, build one another's faith, character, and whatever it is that they want to do in life. That's it.
I say something like the cut.
Go ahead. Go ahead. All right, well, it's still going on. Hopefully, y'all won't see this on the news. Because I know us.
Gunshots.
I mean, you got nothing. When I say nothing but alphas sitting at the table, know that you got nothing but alpha males sitting at the table. You're not making
all of us got respect for each other. That's why I go good.
But it might not be safe for nobody else to come through. Right. Anyway, let's go and cut it off because Shelby want to say something off the camera. And it's probably
and the only thing I want to say is, man,
love y'all. See y'all next week. We ain't gonna tell y'all where we at because we might not want you involved.